Hey guys, today we're going to be seeing how to compare unlike fractions. First, remember that like fractions are the ones that have the same denominator and unlike fractions have different denominators. When you have to compare fractions, you need to make sure that they have the same denominator. Why? Because if not, then it's going to be really hard to compare them. How are we going to do that? You're going to check your fractions. And you're going to check which one is the smaller denominator and the greater denominator. And after that, you're going to see if you can amplify the smaller denominator into the greater denominator. Remember that amplify means multiply. So you're going to check if you can multiply the smaller denominator into any number and turn it into the greater denominator. In this case, I have 1/2 and 4/6. The smaller denominator is 2. Is there any way I can multiply number 2 by any other number and turn it into 6? Yes, I can multiply by 3. Remember that when you're going to amplify, you have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So I go 1 times 3, 2 times 3, and my fraction goes from 1/2 to 3/6. That's my equivalent fraction right there. But now I have both of my fractions with the same denominator, so it is easier to compare. So it is 3/6 is greater or smaller than 4/6. Yes, 3/6 is smaller than 4/6. Let's check another example. I have 3/4 and 2/6. What happens here? Well, my smaller denominator is number 4 and the greater is number 6. There is no way to transfer this number 4 into a number 6 by amplifying or multiplying. So we need another strategy. What are we going to do is we're going to amplify both of the fractions until we find a like fraction or a common denominator. So I want to take my 3/4 and my 2/6. I'm going to start multiplying by 2. 3/4 by 2 equals 6/8. 2/6 by 2 equals 4/12. Is the same denominator? No, it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 3. 3/4 by 3 equals 9/12. 2/6 by 3 equals 6/18. But check this. We already got the common denominator, which is 12. We found it. See, we have denominator 12 and denominator 12. So I can use those fractions, which are equivalent fractions from the original fractions we had. We can use those to compare. So I take those two, 9/12 and 4/12. And I can say that 9/12 is greater than 4/12. Practice time. Remember, when you have different denominators and different numerators, you need to find equivalent fractions. This is my for example. I want to compare 3/4 with 5/8, and I want to know which one is greater or which one is smaller. Can I take number 4 and amplify it by any number and turn it into 8? Yes, I can multiply by 2. I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. And that will give me 6/8. Now my 3/4 became 6/8, and I can compare 6/8 is greater than 5/8. Another example, I have 2/5 and 3/4. There is no way I can turn 4 into 5, so I'm going to have to amplify both of my fractions. Remember, you're going to start by amplifying by 2. If that doesn't work, you go by 3 and so on. By 2, I don't have the same denominators. By 3, I still don't have the same denominators. By 4, not yet. By 5, oh, I got a 20 here and a 20 here. So I think I found my equivalent fractions that I can use to compare these two. So 2/5 becomes 8/20 and 3/4 becomes 15/20. And I can compare and I say 8 out of 20 is smaller than 15 out of 20. One last thing before we go, it is easier to compare fractions when they have either the same numerator or the same denominator. If you don't remember that, please check the video that's called Comparing Fractions. That's correspondent to 2nd grade. You're gonna find it in this same channel. You can use equivalent fractions to get like fractions or fractions with the same denominators that will be easier to compare. That's all for today. See you later, alligators.